Hi, I'm Bart Barber, and I'm here with you to look at the Great Commission. And so let's move on and talk about the next verb, which is the imperative main verb. It's kind of the result verb in the Great Commission. All the other things go in together to make the result of making disciples. We're commanded to make disciples. A couple of things about this word. First of all, there's a difference between where the word comes from and how it's used. The noun disciple really sort of means learner. And it comes from, the word in Greek is mathetes, it comes from a Greek verb, manthano, which is a verb that means to learn. A learner is someone who learns. But that's not the way it's used in the New Testament. Particularly in the Gospels is where we find this word used over and over again. Paired not so much with manthano, which occurs very little in the Gospels, nor even with didaskalo, which is another verb that means to teach, that is a corresponding verb that's used somewhat in the New Testament. But really, the pairing seems to be between mathetes, a learner, is someone who follows. And in the Gospels, we find it talking about following Jesus. And the one who follows Jesus is the one who is a learner from Jesus. Follow is a word that really implies something beyond intellectual learning. It implies a direction of behavior and affiliation. To become a follower of Jesus is to become a disciple. And so when we look at the Bible talking about making disciples, it's talking about making followers of Jesus. Some other interesting things about this concept. Discipleship, as described in the New Testament, is tied to a personal relationship with the one who has called you to be a disciple. It seems that there's an emphasis upon the personal invitation to bring someone into a realm of discipleship. And in the New Testament, it talks about, in the Gospels, the disciples of John. It talks about the disciples of the Pharisees. And so discipleship is something that's attached to a person. You are a disciple of a leader, a disciple of John, a disciple of the Pharisees, a disciple of Jesus. And so we're called upon to make disciples of Jesus. Although there is one place in the Bible where it does talk about people being disciples of various apostles, the intention, that's not presented positively so much. The intention is that we make people who are disciples of Jesus, disciples of Christ. And so that's what we seek to do. That's the goal of the New Testament Great Commission, is that we would make disciples of Jesus, people who will follow him, and people who will learn from him, and people who will identify with him. And so really, we can't evaluate our effectiveness in fulfilling the Great Commission until we see whether the people that we're reaching are becoming disciples. Because this is the command, that we make disciples. And so it pushes us, I think the Great Commission does, it pushes us to a holistic, sort of fully orbed idea of ministry. It's not finished whenever we have someone come and experience conversion and follow Christ in baptism, which we're going to talk about next. But instead, it is something that is never finished. We are still fulfilling the Great Commission with the things that we do here in our church that don't have much to do with getting outside the walls of the church to go into the nations. Those things are all an important part of the Great Commission. We are fulfilling the Great Commission when we send mission teams over into foreign continents. We are fulfilling the Great Commission when we give through the cooperative program to support missionaries around the world. And we would not be fulfilling the Great Commission if we were not going in that way, because it's the intention of Christ that the church be engaged in going all over the world to share the gospel. So all of those things are indispensable for fulfilling the Great Commission. However, we are also fulfilling the Great Commission when we gather disciples just here at First Baptist Farmersville and do things to help them be disciples, be followers of Christ. And furthermore, I would say, if we were going all around the world to get people to the point of baptism, but we were not doing the things to get them established and rooted in a local church and helping them to come to the point that they become disciples of Christ, we would not be fulfilling the Great Commission. No matter how many countries we go into, no matter how many people we see come to the point of being baptized, if they're not becoming disciples, then we have not been obedient to what Christ has called us to do. Thanks for joining me. It's been great to talk about discipleship. May God bless you and use you in pursuing the Great Commission today. Have a great day.